All right, good morning, everybody. Now, this is a formal greeting from me, and the timer starts.
Now,
Okay, it is a great pleasure for me to be here. Thank you, World PR Forum. Thank you, Perhumas, as well, for having me here. Thank you, Professor Mike, because you have laid out the context of my presentation. Diversity, multiculturalism. It is not about what or how, but why. My presentation will be about ethics of care and the context of crisis communication. When we talk about crisis communication, there are many options, whether we follow the rules, ethics of rule or justice, or we follow ethics of care. Most of organization, look, you live in an organization, especially if you are a PR, you want to take control of the situation, of the people, of the way they perceive our organization. Then ethics of rule becomes very prominent there.
Professor, one
Because-
moment, Professor. This is not coming on the slide here.
Oh, sorry. Is it this one?
Can we have some of the
Please stop
console?
the timer. But here it's already there, so I don't know how to put it back.
I think the arrow is.
Oh,
it's coming.
back. All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's about ethics of rule. Now ethics of care emphasize more on empathy, sympathy, relationship, connection, attending emotional needs of everybody, not only the top management, not only the organization. Why disappear again? Because maybe I'm too excited here. All right, thank you. So now we live in 21st century. I would like to propose about ethics of care that has been discussed in many disciplines. You know, like caregiver, healthcare, education, as well as in the public relation and crisis communication, CSR or government communication. There are many models have been proposed by many scholars. I will not go into details explaining those models, but I would like to highlight that there are many models. The first one from Frostino and Kennedy, they emphasized the four landscape. Crisis never free from the context, physical, cultural, political, economic system, as well as the human landscape, the feeling of the people, the educational of the people. It's not about who are smarter than the other one. Remember what Professor Mike said. What is good according to us may lead to a harmful situation to different people. Another model proposed here by Lemon and Bowen, they propose something that we need to integrate those four landscape into the life cycle of the care itself. Caring about, caring for, the caring action itself. Caring, receiving, talking about responsiveness, the feedback, and then caring with. Now, those two models have been criticized for very normative. How is in the practice? So here, Hu and Johnston did study asking practitioners, top management within the organization about who should be the caregiver. They proposed that we need to go empowerment, but in their study, still focus on empowerment within the organization, that everybody can be a caregiver. What are the gaps? Well, most of study conducted in the Western area and developed countries, including what proposed by Hu and Johnson conducted in Australia. Meanwhile, we have many people, many countries, many practices with different contexts. So what I will propose now is from Global South countries, from my country, Indonesia. It is not about which one is better or worse, but we provide different or alternative perspective. Like what Prof. Hadi said, we live in multiculturalism now. So my presentation about ethics of care based on my study, continuous study with the context of disaster management in Java, in Yogyakarta where I live. We do have spiritual and cultural belief which is very strong in Indonesia and many different countries. I believe in many different continents, they have a very strong cultural values as well as spirituality. I live in Jogja. We do have Mamayu Hayuneng Bawono. In Bali, Trihita Karana. In Entebbe, with most of them Muslim. they have Rahmatan lil Alamin. Those three extend the care beyond care between people and people, but also to the environment as well as to the creator of life, to the God, which is very maybe different in Western perspective. These just the pictures where I conducted the study. What we learn from them. They perceive crisis in a positive way, part of their life, even written in the Bible, in the scripture. What we learn from there. Crisis is part of the life of the organizational life cycle. This is the time for organization to develop, to transform. And then the other one, there are two perspectives, the way they define crisis. Not using scientific knowledge. You know, how many magnitude talking about global warming, carbon emission? No, that's scientific language. When I ask them, they talk about, oh, what happened to my kettles? What happened with my, parents and so on. Language of left word. You know, they have their own definition about it. And also when it comes to actors, we live, even I study about public relation. When we identify the actors, we tend to see it according their relationship to the organization. When we ask them, who do you think will be the main actors in crisis? They mention religious leader, adat leader, elderly people, because they can provide care. So what we learn from there, we always think in ethics of care and crisis, we, organization, become the caregiver. But what we found, everybody, even people in the community, they can be caregiver, not always care receiver. And we acknowledge multiculturalism. I think Professor Jesper once wrote an article about multiculturalism in the crisis. So this is very important. What are the lessons learned? Care is part of our life, Ba'arum. That's how they call my name. Care is part of our life, working together. Well, this is in line with many references we found in many academic journals. The difference is we extend the care, not only among people, but also to the environment, to the creature of life. What we learn from this? I did study on a sustainability communication, and the organization said we need to adopt their belief. So this, extending care not only to other people, but also to the God, to the people, to the environment, can be adopted by organization, especially when you deal with environmental issues. My article on sustainability communication just published in JCOM, Journal of Communication Management, said about that even multinational company, when they do sustainability communication, also need to adopt or even, integrate the local value into their strategy. The other things, all right, 2 minutes. Building harmony, this is very important. Just imagine orchestra. Orchestra on here, gamelan, in my hometown, gamelan. They consist of different instruments. They have different strength. But when they play together, they will play something nice. That's one thing that imagine here. Do not be afraid of the differences. That's what Professor Mike said. So then I concluded into how if we build like an orchestra during the crisis. It is not only the organization who suffer from the crisis, but also the people over there. Now we come to the most difficult one, constructed the model. If Prof. Jesper said that he likes the model, that's the most difficult because we need to construct the model. How then we build that one? We found the word equilibrium. I think that's from Talcott Person. But how we really implemented that? Diversity is given. We need to balance the diversity. What we should do? We need to make sure everybody has their voice and place in the society. So when we do the crisis or when we do PR, it is not about us. But we need to listen to them. That's also part of the social change. It's not about what the PR do, not about the organization do, but social change should happen in the society where they become the subject of social change itself. So I did that in a disaster context. We experienced pandemic. So, okay, now what happened in the crisis during the pandemic? When we ask about the actors, they say different things again. Government, the expert become very important. So then I try to build this one. 4 second, last one. Okay, so here the keyword is about not just balanced diversity, engagement, participation, and empowerment. We can see here that ethics of care can be embedded in the alignment. Why? During the crisis, during the pandemic, everybody almost did not understand what is COVID-19. So ethics of care aims to make people understand what is COVID, what are the dangers, what should we do. That's alignment process. There is also participative, because in the pandemic, it is not only the government who should do things, everybody should do something. So participatory approach will be important. Ethics of care also about trust building. Because in the pandemic system, we need somebody that we can trust. Scientifically, we trust the expert. In terms of authority, we trust the government. And of course, at the end, ethics of care is about social transformation, changing the behavior. Final one, closing. I just remember I got a 1 minute bonus, so I have 20 seconds. Now I can a bit slow down. All right? So what we learned from here, thank you. Because this is the third session and I'm sure that you need something to be more focused now. Okay, what we learned from here. Ethics of care, it's not about the skill. It is not something that we choose in the organization. Ethics of care is about caring. This is about our behavior. The behavior of everybody, not just PR practitioners, but everybody. And ethics of care is about people with value. And ethics of care, yes, we do obligations, responsibility, but also concern and feeling of compassion, not only to others, but also to the nature, which is very important with the sustainability communication issue with SDG and everything, but also to the creator of life. Because that's reality in some countries, including Indonesia. Spirituality is very important. Co-empowerment. As a public relations, we need to empower everybody, not always to be the care receiver. Communities can also be the caregiver as well. Ethics of care, finally, acknowledge the multiculturalism. Diversity is given. So then how we calibrate all of diversity, building the harmony, what our comparison say, equilibrium is there. And
5,
lastly,
4,
now really
3,
lastly, finally,
2, 1, 0.
Okay. The final aim, goals of crisis communication, in my opinion, it's not about reputation. Because everybody, not just organization, suffer from the condition of crisis. Crisis communication, where the ethics of care should aim for the harmony. So thank you. This is my overview from the Global South country, Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.